My name's James and welcome to R&R, the show where I react to and review some of the latest and greatest music videos. Today I'm going to be checking out The Both of Us by BOI. Let's go.
One studio session later.
Cool. I'm really enjoying the sort of return to the Neon Tide kind of cyberpunk dystopian look of everything. I also think that's kind of reinforced within the lyrics where there's this showdown, this fight between the both of us. I'm not fully sold on the Sandy voice emulation. Maybe it's just the auto-tune that's being used. It's sort of making the notes jump around and then sort of also affecting the voice emulation. It's not quite there. It's not quite as clean as I think the Plankton has been, and even the SpongeBob and the Patrick has been as well. So that's a little bit off-putting. And then as for the musical elements, everything has been fine so far. I wouldn't necessarily say that there's been anything too engaging or anything that's sort of really stood out so far. It's been a good sort of building up intro that's maybe taken a little bit too long, but I hope it sort of brings it all home and really gives us a big kick in the guts. Ooh, there we go. Getting some references to the BOI universe. That's cool. Nice. Cool. Not bad. Yeah, that was pretty cool. What I was expecting was what we got, but also not what we got. I was kind of expecting to get a big kick in the face and then things to drop back down, but for it to continue on and sort of like just keep delivering sort of heaviness from when Plankton comes in, that was really cool. I like that. I like that it didn't sort of drop back down and go to a bit more of a calmer approach for the Plankton verse. I like that. And I liked that when it did go to that chorus section, it wasn't just a Plankton chorus either. We got that sort of like back and forth and the doubling of both Plankton and Sandy. That was really cool. Ooh, more. Ooh, that was interesting. Whoa. Nice. I will say, I think the biggest thing that I've really noticed from BOI is how good he is at writing breakdowns that are not typical, that are just sort of do things differently, go places that you're not expecting it to go, but not in like, a weird techie, sort of like, look at me, I am trying to be different, just doing things that they seem familiar, they sound familiar, but yeah, just in slightly different ways that it makes it really stand out from the crowd. Particularly the stuff that we're getting, the really modern stuff that we're getting, where there is almost a chasing of, particularly in the YouTube metal sphere, a lot of people out there seem to be chasing the Tim Henson style of techiness, whereas this isn't in that vein. There is some techiness, but it's not that style. But I think with this one, we're also getting a lot more of the sort of one-shot sample stuff and the synth stuff, which is really, really nice as well and different. So really cool.
This town ain't big enough.
Cool.
I pray there's no
That was really cool. That was really cool. Damn. Yes.
This town ain't big enough.
Nice. Perfect. Absolutely perfect way to end it off. I love that it built up so much energy and tension, and that back and forth sort of call and response to the Sandy character being a bit more lighter, but sort of like there's that almost genuine feel of desperation, and then Plankton coming in and just sort of taking control and throwing a lot of power and energy, and yet everything just sort of shaking up and yet building to that hard cut was absolutely perfect. Again, that another thing which I think BOI is very, very good at is giving us that variation in choruses. Obviously in this one with the two characters, I think it makes sense that they would be, but again, it's sort of done in such a way which isn't typical and which does change the perception, or at least sort of the what you think is going to happen. So for me, I think with Sandy's voice, I think it's too high of a pitch. I think if it was slightly lower, and maybe this is where there could have been maybe a little bit more testing that needed to happen to see where Sandy's register was really going to work super well. Maybe the song, the instrumentation was written first, and then Sandy's vocal emulation was put on top of that, whereas maybe there should have been some more testing to see where Sandy's vocal range would actually lie and fit in a more compatible way, so that it still sounds very much more authentically like Sandy from the show. I think that's what it is. At least that's my theory. But when it comes to Plankton, that's really where, again, it's super impressive. It sounds like Plankton and it just fits so well. And the scream vocals, again, I still can't quite get my head around how well the scream vocals sound with the voice emulation of Plankton. It just somehow works so well. Obviously, there's plenty of saturation and distortion and other effects happening to assist and help, but that style of processing can only go so far. You need a really good performance for that stuff to enhance first. If it's a shit performance, it's gonna sound like distorted shit. But the performance from the get-go, I feel, is very good, and that's where Plankton's voice just really takes a hold of all that extra processing and can be manipulated and enhanced in that way. So definitely, as for the song, another really impressive track from Boy What. I do really love the thumbnail for this song. The only thing I think for me at this point is this wanting for a more involved video clip. I don't think it necessarily has to be on the same sort of 3D animation style as Glorb, but just something with a little bit more movement in scene and that sort of thing. Just so it's not so much so the same sort of AI generated art that's then morphing together and in and out of itself. You know, it's a really nice touch. I think it's great that we have it, but that's kind of the progress that I would really love to see from Boy What, particularly in the music videos. I think song-wise, he's doing a stellar job. But yeah, something a little bit more on the video end would be awesome to see. So that's it for me in this one. What are your guys' thoughts on the both of us from Boy What? And what should I check out next? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out one of these other videos appearing before me, and you'll catch me in the next one.